I've got two of you now in here, dude. Yeah, we're live, dude. Live.
All right. What's up, everybody?
Hey, peeps.
Mike is a beautiful sunset.
I am a beautiful sunset
today.
Dude. What you up to this week, dude?
Man, just right here, working it. Yeah, been watching some stuff in the SERPs that is good on a lot of levels, and I think a lot of what I noticed, I had some major gains. Of course, a lot on some new content that we released though.
Yeah,
it was just like we talked about, like media rich. Those pieces of content that have good images, stuff that's engaged, stuff that's interlinked. But Google started rolling that out like this morning at 5 Eastern. So if you get up and you checked on your rankings and stuff today, like I want to see the bigger like losers and winners. But before we get into that, we can't see your face, Mike.
no, I have it. Dude, I can't see yours either, bro.
Oh, no way.
Let's see. I'm pulling something up because I want to look at it. I've been watching some queries where they rolled this shit out a while back, and I want to see if they've actually pulled back into it. All right, they haven't there. All right, let's see. I'm in the wrong account, people. How's everyone doing this week? And how's this update treating you if you're in here? Is it treating you? Is it not there? Is it? I've seen a lot of people gaining traffic. A lot of people gaining traffic. Tons of them actually are gaining traffic. So
yeah,
interesting. Yeah. So what are you seeing in some of your campaigns, bro? Anything in particular?
I've got a well, definitely. So in some of the lead gen sites that I have, with a lot of like that I've done a video for. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this in GSC, but they have a new like video indexing report. So it shows you all the pages on your website that have a video in them, and Google's actually tracking that. And even if you have the same video, like YouTube video, but so that when did you notice that, Mike? That feature that came out in GSC?
Which one? The video site? The video
yeah. So if I log into Search Console, let me see.
I think that the account I'm in had it pretty damn early. But I think it's a big indicator of what they're doing right now. They rolled that. I think they took it fully live, 2-3 days ago is what they said.
Yeah, I think so. Let me see. I've got, so some of them don't have it. Some of them do. So I'll go to one that, so it'll say on the left side of the screen what your, how many pages on your website have a video in it that Google is tracking. So they call that video pages. So that's under index. So you've got pages, and then you've got video pages. So let's say you've got like the same video, and this is like on my some lead gen stuff. I've got just YouTube videos that are embedded in every single page, and that's what Google calls video indexed.
Yeah, the video pages report is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. So this started on for mine. It started on June 1st, and that's not on every dashboard.
Here, hold on. Let's see.
For every domain.
So this does look like this began June 1st. Let's see. What's the reason I'm using this? other. Because Corey Rose.
Yes, sir.
That's why. It said, why am I using this? Screen is shared, correct? Yeah,
Yep.
I did.
I see your screen.
Yeah, it looks like the first is when it pulled in data. So let's see. Let's look. Could not determine prominent video on the page. Let's take a look at that right there. I would assume there's more than one. There we go. That's a dead video. Or is it blocked for YouTube? Yeah, it's a private video.
Yep.
So let's see. This one is not private, but it can't determine it. That was an image.
Oh.
Oh no, it's not. Okay, never mind.
It's there.
I want to see if we keep seeing those dead videos. It's pretty. That looks like you.
There we are.
Graham. Okay, so that's what I was looking for, because it's a list of videos, and so it can't determine the prominent video.
Oh, right.
What would be interesting here is there anything from YouTube? Because I wonder, that would be interesting to see if dropping in anything from YouTube there would take it as prominent, and I'm willing to bet it might, because I do not see anything from YouTube here. It's all Instagram. That's interesting. So, let's see. Example page can video where the page can be indexed, but no video could be indexed. The table is not guaranteed to show all pages. So that's the page index, but not the video index. And that could not determine the prominent video. Index or served on Google video. And I'd be willing to bet. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, but just looking at that, that's something that Google's now that they're showing to webmasters now. So what are some things that some reasons why Google would be showing that to webmasters? Well, if number one, it's something that we have to start looking at, right? Like, obviously they're looking at images, and I don't know if they're ever going to roll something out like this about images. But you guys already know the importance of having images and what Google's looking for on their images. So if Google is reporting this, that there's actually video that they're indexing and reporting back to you, as a webmaster, what do you think the message is here when we're looking at pages like this? It's like, what is Google trying to tell us about these videos?
Yeah, no. So basically, realistically, the timing's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't you think the timing's interesting as they continue to roll out what they're rolling out right now?
Yep. So rolled out about 2 months ago.
Well, I mean, they really rolled it out at the same time. Like, they took it live at the same time they're doing this core update, right?
Right.
And when we started looking at that core update shit last week, if we go to the Google dev blog. There we go. Right there. Let's see. 2022 August. Let's see if they have anything. There we go. So it's roughly the same time. Video creation consumption on the web continues to grow. Google text video indexing report shows status of video indexing on your site. It helps you following. And how many pages has Google identified a video? Which videos were indexed successfully? And what are the issues preventing videos from being indexed? Let's see why videos aren't indexed. So let's see, inspecting specific, the inspection page to inspect them. Have you started inspecting these yet, Corey?
No.
What's interesting to me is the could not determine prominent video. So I actually have not looked into this at all, to be honest.
So on that one, so the thing is, Mike, I've got pages that say that same thing, and it's the exact same video. It shows the video URL and only one. and it's a YouTube video, but it still says that it can't determine the prominent video, and it's only 5 out of a couple hundred.
Yeah, but how many videos are on that page?
Just one.
Just one?
It's just one YouTube video. It's the same YouTube video on every page.
All right, here we go. Let's see. So let's see the live video. Blah, 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 blah. The real Google bot will be from you saying also that video pages report, which is we've given access to Google for video page, video object structured data, and video site massive give a list of covered countries through the restriction list. I'm talking about, here's an example. Okay, yes, so you're talking about the actual indexing videos. The one in the page details is the one from structured data. The video details is the one where the video itself is detected in the page, which is not from the structured data. It seems like it with Happy with the M3U8, it reports its video content, so it would be able to produce a thumbnail for it. So thumbnail, okay, let's see. Google was unable to find a video that could be considered prominent enough to qualify as the video page. Let's see, video prominence. Prominent. That is, it cannot be hidden behind other elements or require complex interaction for the player to appear. And sometimes can sometimes navigate these interactions, but this isn't guaranteed. So it is potentially in the source code for these videos, right? Have you looked into the code that's on those pages that you have the prominence issue or whatever?
No, they're all the same. I mean, it said like the prominence is like, I would say closer to the top. That's what I think that's part of what they're looking for.
Well, they're looking to see if it's the interaction. It's almost like in here, hold on. It's almost like they're looking for a visible player right away. So here,
right. Yep.
That's flex eyes.
See videos. Yeah, video's prominence on the page is a key factor, is what they're saying. So, I keep them pretty much like almost above the fold on mobile, above the fold on desktop. Or
yeah, but also what I mean is the interaction for it. Like, is it just embedded on the page? What's the code look like? How is the code embedded on page is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I just have it framed from the YouTube share.
It is just the same share as the other ones that are not.
Yeah, correct.
Tap play interaction. Google can sometimes navigate these interactions, such as a tap play interaction, but this isn't guaranteed. Okay, so that's interesting that it's talking about tapping play, but let's see. Okay, where are we?
Video is no longer available because the YouTube account.
That's the first one. Okay, so that's the paragraph. iframe allow, etc. Okay, so here's the code for that. All right, and then I'm going to go back in and find, where did the console go? All right. So that Instagram shit looks like they don't like how that embed is for the Instagram. Now, let's see, there's the video player. They don't like this video player. So the YouTube embed, the CDN, Vimeo. This CDN, it seems like they had issues with. Let's see. It is really just how much of this is YouTube. All right, there's another one that's YouTube. Let's see. Ask questions if you're out there. There's a bunch of people in there, but if you have questions, go. I'm not looking at them, so forgive me if they don't come through. Let me see here. All right, where are you? There it is. That one is unavailable as a private setting. So that one. And another YouTube video. Is it going to be a private setting? No, there we go. Looking good, Gio. Where you at? Image credit. There we are. Right there.
James Moore says, I got some message about video structure data. Our 2 videos on page is just YouTube URL video.
Grab the code if you have it in front of you. Let's see, copy element. I want to see if this code is the same embed. All right, let's see. It is. Okay, so that one is, that is what it is. So I see the variables in there. Let me go find one that is actually not having an issue. All right, so video not processed, unsupported. So where's the indexed? Man. So these are the affected, these are in index, and we need a YouTube video. There we go. Okay. Section, where's that start of that section? It's right there. Category header, flex, CFO. Do it. I'm going here. Yeah, it's a different embed code, dude.
Is it?
Yeah. So here I'll show you. That's what I was wondering if it was. So here we go. Let me see if I can share that real quick. Share. Stop screen. Share screen. Yeah. Okay. So the first 2 embed codes are not prominent on the page. The third one is indexed just fine. The first 2 have the accelerometer and autoplay. So I would check the embed codes on the, yeah, right there's where we stop. How do we go? So not indexed and indexed right there. And I bet if we keep going through this that we could find some similar, that looks like it's, so the gyroscope's in there. That looks like it's embedded off of a phone or something. So I'm willing to bet, but those are also private videos. Those were private videos too, or no, they weren't. I can't remember. Shit, I think they were private, so I could be jumping the gun there. But the embed code, let's see, keep going. Share.
So it's, but I mean, I think the story that we're probably understanding here is that is helpful to useful content is teeing it up with a video.
So like my deal is what they're doing right now with some of these queries with the whole helpful content stuff is that the more you have media around that is actually delivering, the better you're going to be. I'm wondering if for some of you out there, are you having anything that's hit right now, queries that are hit right now from what's rolling out, or are you good? Like, let us know if you have something you want to look at or want us to look at. Let's see, screen would be, that's one. All right. Video on page, video not processed, not really caring about those too much. Prominence is the one that interested in the most. All right, let's see. That's a YouTube video. I can type, dude. So we've got everything. So Bluetooth. Yeah, I can already tell that is the one that had issues right there. That's the embed code with the issues right there. All right, let's see. Yeah, so that one that's not prominent has that embed code with the issue. Let's see. That's in the sidebar, so we'll see. Interesting. It's not picking up. Oh, there it is right there. That is not the same one, but what is that in? Video container. That's interesting. I actually really interested in
Oh, Mr. Ross, we need to go.
Separators.
Stephanie earning her keep on there with the client.
Nice.
Interesting.
what are you working on this week, Corey? Just is it client work?
Yeah, client work and lead gen stuff.
Right on.
Yeah, man. It's been like, I think probably a lot of the people in here are doing, I guess there's a pretty good mix, right? Of like people that do client.
I think so, man. I do.
So one of the blocks that I had to overcome in you know, especially in the summer months, like number one, just, you know, you're not going to be putting in the hours during the summer months that you probably would when the kids are in school, if you guys have school. But the second one is that, you know, people a lot of times think, well, nobody's really looking for SEO. Everybody's out doing summer stuff. But there's just as much new business to close during the summer as there is during the winter, as there is, you know, during the holidays. So if that's any blocks that anybody's like dealing with, as far as just to shift gears here for a little bit, but like if that's a block that anybody's dealing with when you know, building your business, that's just a mental construct that you've put there, and you've told yourself the story because maybe you noticed a pattern on something. So my recommendation is just open it back up and you know, just get back out there and do those things that you had been doing to grow your business. You can do that any time of year. There's always people looking, you know, for your services, especially, you know, if you're good and you provide that for them. That's a really good thing. And then another thing that I noticed, Mike, in getting things ranking in the maps is kind of, I think Google's looking a lot more at the actual at the domain. I don't think there's much that you can do these days to the actual map itself, like the map location, as far as links and in things. So because I have a client, I shot one exact match link and they jumped up into the maps and debuted at position 2, and they were nowhere in the top 100 in the maps, and they're not even really that close in a major city. So that's one thing.
You dropped in an exact match domain?
No, I dropped an exact match anchor from a PBN.
The target, correct? Like the landing page.
Yeah, exactly, to the domain itself.
So what are you seeing when it comes to content for local for yourself, man? Like if you have the right content on those pages when you're linking versus not?
Well, yeah, definitely. So, because that's one of the things that you get to see in maps, right? Their website mentions, you know, gun store, you know, Valdosta or whatever. So if that holds true, and you've got stuff on your website that mentions it, you definitely 100%, yeah, the website should mention it. But here's another interesting thing that these guys have a competitor that was dominating for several years, and they did something to destroy and completely delete their existing Google My Business. They had, you know, hundreds of reviews, and then it fell off the face of the earth. They ended up having to start a brand new one, and as soon as they launched that, they took the number one position again, with like 0 reviews. So again, like some of the off-page stuff that Google's looking for is not tied directly to the embed of that particular Google My Business,
Right.
or any, you know, links that you're going to build to it. It's the offsite other signals that you're going to find in, you know, in your directories and links coming to the site, just the authority that the site has, because like their map listing, you know, jumped back up to position number 1, as the day that they created it. So I know that there's a lot of stuff that we have done in the past to really juice up that map property itself, but I think a lot more of it is, you know, Google's, you know, is looking actually more at the kind of the domain side of things. And what have you seen, Mike? And just
I've seen the same thing. I've seen just fixes of basically the page entity or the site entity, like of the topic. The modifiers absolutely move things from like third page to like ABC type things. And so I absolutely agree that it's a lot of relation to what the domain is doing and how the domain feels.
Yeah.
You know, they, I think that when you handle the proper optimization, that no matter what, you're doing something good for any of your local campaigns when it comes to the topic. And the intent, actually. So this here I thought was interesting because I don't agree with number 2 at all. Uploading content in bulk on the site is a sign of producing it by tools like AI creators. It might be that, but I actually don't think that's going to be a negative. I actually think that's a benefit and a bonus.
I would agree.
When you get the full keyword cluster or the full page grouping and it's there, you absolutely look better than if you put a partial published up. Because you just don't look like you have the expertise for the topic potentially. And I think it can cause a lot of problems for your domain if you continue to throw half of a topic up, you know?
Yep.
So,
yeah. And I mean, that's, I don't think that, you know, using tools like that is never, you know, you can use tools like that and have perfectly, you know, good human written content.
Absolutely. No, there's nothing wrong with using AI or personalization. So this guy says my main sites are built for content and this purpose for OG search. And it's not true. Google always wants more content. It is true. Yeah. So I agree with that way more. Google always prefers quality and user-friendly content. Yes. So last year, 1,500 plus words, starting this year, 1,000 plus. And for this is nonsense, dude. Like right here, that's nonsense.
Right.
Complete fucking bullshit. Don't know what you're talking about. Nonsense.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the length of your content. Yeah. Has to do with what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's what they say on the ideal, but it's not possible. 3.1 related to content, but their internal algorithmic problems. The world has millions of websites and many more are added daily. So they need to be on top. It's really easy. Like, so number 1 is this point here. Google issues for poor content. It really just comes down to, it's not hard for Google to know if a piece of content covers what it needs to cover for a given query or not. It just isn't. It's simple fucking math and scraping, basically. So if they notice something glaring missing, they don't have to continue to waste resources on it till that shit's back in there.
So Mike, are they looking for like entities to be mentioned, or are they looking for things like lorem ipsum?
I think that they're looking for the mentions of the right modifiers or entities.
I think so too, because I mean, if what is suggested right here is true, then lorem ipsum would never rank, and it still does.
Right.
As long as you've got you're mentioning the right entities or keywords in the body of your content. Because I mean, we've talked about this before here, probably that
millions of times, right?
Yeah, that Google's not reading that like a human. I mean, maybe they're getting better at that, but can you imagine the bandwidth that they would have to have if they were legit looking
Way
at
too expensive to try to even do. They're never going to do that, in my opinion. They're just not
right.
going to. Why would they? When all they have to do is scrape a piece of content and break it down into different like grams, basically break it down into different phrases, break it down into things where they can actually look for a key phrase that should be on. Take anything. Take if they want to know that there's like I'm not saying this is what they're looking for eat right all the time, but if they want to know that there's an expert talking about that, all they have to do is break it down. And if they've determined that there's a rule where we only like doctors talking about this fucking topic and we're only going to rank doctors, if everyone else in the SERP mentions the doctor and has MD next to their name, and you have a page that doesn't have that, all they have to do is write a simple, if page does not mention MD, toss it out of the query, right? It's not, it takes no power, it takes nothing. The same goes for any other topic or intent or whatever. We know that if someone's doing a search for pizza, they need to disambiguate it. So they're going to look for either recipe or the word order, right? And it's not hard for them to detect that. And if you don't mention something that they deem as a requirement to deliver for that query, then you're not going to deliver for that query.
Yeah.
So
another one that I found interesting on one of my clients' website. So COG said that one of those focus keywords is reservations required. So to your point, like they're looking for certain things that are not necessarily something that anybody would just sit down and start writing. And probably the majority of people that are writing content are not using the tools that we have access to. So that gives us a head, just like head and shoulders above as from a content perspective, even if you're using spun content, but you're making sure that you've got some safe words in there that aren't going to get spun, then all that stuff is still going to keep working.
Right. No, absolutely. And what's interesting is like if we do all of this, right? If we use AI to do this shit, if we use Surfer or something like that, let me see, blah, 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 blah. Let's see, where am I? I never come in here myself, so we'll just a content improver. We'll see what does there. So the content we take is going to be like, let's just say Bitcoin. If we come in here and I take the wrong donors, let's see, right here, I just grab something random and I take the wrong donor. I grab a random paragraph. Let's just say I take this page and I scrape that page and I use that as my fucking seed or something. What's down here? Funny's fine. Man. If I'm not careful with this, crypto is down another 5% this morning. Total market cap of cryptocurrencies fell below 100 billion for the first time ever. Current market cap, blah, 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 blah. And I'm trying to rank for something specific like Bitcoin or a query there, and I use the wrong seed, then I'm not going to fucking rank for it. And it's not a penalty against AI. It's a penalty against me not knowing what I'm doing, right?
Right.
So if we're going to go after like Bitcoin can be hacked or something like that, and we just go in and we go, oh, who's the best Bitcoin site? Let's do this. And we're going to grab something off of Coin, or that's the one that I can't get into. So fuck that. Let's see. We'll just go to Coin Market Cap. Give me an article. I need a fucking article. Coin Market Cap. Here. I'll make a point here. Bitcoin Depot. I just take an article that's in the top for a query or something like that, right? And I use that as my seed if I can. Don't be frozen. Did I break it? Here. Wow, it won't let me unselect anything. That's fun. I think people will get the point though. If I throw in that article as my seed and I want to rank for Bitcoin being hacked, I doubt that this says hacked anywhere on the page. It's never going to create content that's going to rank me for the keywords that I'm trying to rank for. It's just not going to happen because I'm not feeding it what I need to feed it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of content writers do, right? I mean, at least that's what I see. They'll go out, they'll grab something, and they'll take it or whatever, and they'll grab something and they'll write about it. And so even if it's handwritten and you don't give them the right freaking modifiers or the right things to talk about, it's going to be the same problem that the AI has. It's like AI, like this is just an assistant, right? It's machine learning.
Well, yeah, but then you run into these outliers where, let's say you do have a piece of content that's ranking extremely well. It might not mention all the entities, but but maybe it's close, but it's 20,000 words, and it's a crapshoot to where, you know, so you have this outlier that's 20,000 words on page one, and that brings the overall average of how many words you should have on your page. But there's one ranking with 400 words on it that's ranking right up there with it, and that's kind of how people that are, you know, just writing the content and just writing lots of long form content, which I'm not saying is bad. But
well, no, it'll get you in trouble for sure. You'll rank for you'll get a bunch of impressions for shit you don't need to, right?
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, like, you get all this content written, and you go on and on. You are going to rank for some stuff. But you know, I think 9 times out of 10, you have somebody who is putting so much up there, just hoping that, okay, this has to rank, because eventually you're going to mention some of the things that need to be mentioned. If you're writing about a topic and you know it's 10,000 or 20,000 words long, or just a massive piece of content, eventually you're going to hit it, and that might skew somebody's idea of thinking, oh, well, you have to.
Well, I mean, and look at this query here, right? Best investment for new crypto investor in August 2022, right? So all right, so if we're looking here and we're looking at what's here, so this one I think was on the August one, but if I come back in and I start throwing in this, we're starting to see stuff drop off, right? And so it is a complete crapshoot. It is completely programmatical there for like the eligibility.
Are you on a different screen, Mike?
Oh, I guess I am. Sorry, my bad. So in here we've got certain queries in here. We've got certain keywords coming through in here. So best investment for new investor for crypto 2022. If we come in and start modifying, like taking away any of these modifiers, we start to see a very different delivery. Like we'll start to see the ones that are mentioning this like more. So the more you throw out there, basically, the more words you throw out there, you might hit on one or two.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Going to hit on like the keyword cluster that's going to push you for the actual main queries in there, right?
Yeah.
So like, let's go and look at best investment crypto 2022. And then we start to get a lot more targeted when we get into these queries here, right? So yes, we can, like this, I think is one of the only ones that pulled through, like these two potentially. So what we get is, it's like when you go into COG and see everything that you should mention or should mention more. The more words you toss at it, yes, you can pull impressions for fucking thousands upon thousands upon thousands of keywords, but like literally 99% of those will never hit page one, and the traffic is going to suck. And the
right. Yeah, exactly.
You that up, and you mention like, let's see how long this thing is. Versus
drop that query into COG, and you can see all the results.
We'll look at the difference in length here for the top best investment in crypto 2022. I want to see if we see a significant. significantly different because of this down here. But it's just interesting that it has become a Google's targeting AI type of thing there with this like this update, because when we read the actual announcement, they did not say anything about targeting AI directly, if I remember correctly. What they did say was right for human readers.
Right.
What they didn't say was don't use an AI assistant, don't use this or that. They didn't say we're going to go out and look and see if we can reverse engineer what Jarvis is doing and blah, 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 and throw that together and penalize any site that's using Jarvis. No, what they said was be on top of your like knowledge for the fucking query. That means all the modifiers, be trustworthy. It's basically E, right? It always is. It's triple T. They did not say they're going after spun content. They did not say they're going after, let's say, AI, like I said, because realistically, spun content easily could be me inserting your name into a page based on personalization, right? I could spin the content based on your likes and your desires on my website to try to convert you into something. And I can still write for every reader out there because I'm just replacing a small block of my content. That's what spinning is, okay? Right. They really don't give a shit. At the end of the day, what they don't want people to do is manipulate the search and give a bad experience to their users. And I really believe that's all it comes down to, is that they want the user to actually find what they need to find when they do the search, because that's how they make their money. No one comes back to a search engine that delivers shitty results. If I look for Disney and I get porn, I'm not coming back to that search engine, right?
Maybe you are.
Maybe I am, but might not. So I think that all the this kind of thing where we're looking at this right here, where they're talking about AI, blah blah blah. They want us indexing. Okay, so he said upload less content. So Google wants us to leave AI content. They didn't say this shit anywhere. They don't give a shit. They use it. No. It's kind of funny. Let's see what this dude's doing. I wanted to find a couple that are about this update. How much do you think domain? Please suggest. AI generated content. All right, here we go. There's AI. Content generate traffic from ecom. Jasper. I want to see if anyone said not to. No one said not to. That sucks. It's actually a pretty big theme right now from what I'm getting the messages about this stuff right now. It's like AI content is bad. All right, here we go. It doesn't make sense. What doesn't make sense? Take a look at Pointer, blah, blah, blah. Post. Is the content to attract people from search engines rather than made for humans? The only reason this is what we said. The only sites that will suffer from this update is going to be white hat sites because of I don't agree with this 100%, but it's somewhat true. So the only sites that will suffer from this update are going to be white hat sites, because black hat people already know their site will burn today or tomorrow. But the white hat guys who focus on answering the query didn't know that they can't really attract people from the search engine, because with an update every month, most of the sites will fall into the against the terms of service and condition. I think a lot of the point is being missed. Like, this, I truly believe, is the content primarily to attract from people from search engines rather than made for humans. Really comes down to the fact that it has to answer what the person's looking for the query, because it's not going to allow you to deliver if it doesn't. And that means that using AI and assistants to do your research, to scrape, to pull data, and then to spit out a brief for handwritten content to generate it based on other content is creating it for humans, especially once you start to throw on something to personalize or to convert that person. Like, these are technically the same exact thing to me. I don't know. How do you see attract people from search engines rather than made for humans, Corey?
I think that maybe it's purposefully ambiguous in the sense that, I mean, there's a lot of circular thought that you could put into that, and where you could say, well, what really is the goal, right? Am I like, because you write it for search engines, you attract people. I think that I think that a lot of one of the key things that probably should be looked at is your click-through rate. So, if you've got a piece of content on there and it's got like a good clickbaity kind of title, this is where we go back to just like the number one thing opportunity here is just to get people to land on your website. So if you have something that is an exact match of only the query, but you don't tie something in there like 5 top recommendations for camping tents instead of a query that's just says camping tents, you throw something in there that is actually going to give somebody a reason to click on. So that's like I think the very first part that we should be looking at is just let's get people to the website, let the voters decide, see how they respond and react to the content that you're actually putting out there. But I think that's where it would start. Like if you're writing for people, you're going to have an engaging title that is well thought through. It might ask a question. It might give you 10 best, 10 worst. But I think that's one of the number one indicators, as far as like how content is written. Do you do a good job on your titles? And that title itself is going to set up is going to tee up the rest of the content that's on the page. So you're taking that title and then you're going to answer and give somebody what they're expecting as soon as they click on that. So that can't be bad for the bots. It can't be bad for people. So I think just keep doing things the right way, which is, for the most part, what has been taught through NFG for since the very beginning. Get some content that's up there that actually, that actually people are going to engage. And the first thing that they're going to see of your content is your title, right?
Do you see this, dude? Like right here, the modifiers. Like right here for like these queries, all these modifiers that they're starting to add into this shit now.
I think I haven't paid much attention to it, but let me try it.
So check the screen for me real quick, or like look at what I'm showing you. Like, so they're delivering the modifiers right here for people to button press and get into related content, right? That's what we're talking about.
What's that query, Mike? It's kind of small to read. Top
online slots. Like, and here's luxury travel right here, right? So they're personalizing here with my location.
Yeah. Gotcha.
They're adding in the other additional modifier right here for destinations, right?
Yeah.
So here we are for destinations, and then so this is what we're talking about with this content shit, this helpful content update, right? In my opinion, this is what we're looking at. Like they know exactly what this stuff is. They know what people want. They're personalizing for the profile. It's all the shit we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're covering what we're talking about through the keyword cluster in the page group, like the scoring based on let's look and see if we can pull something for my keyboard won't type. There we go. Look at right here. Okay, so here we go. Right now, if we come into a site like Minitool, what to do if my keyboard won't type? Okay, and they want us to have a type of hardware or like software here. So we're going to either go. This is like the example I've used for a long time. Is like if I go and do a search for like the problem I'm having, and I'm on Windows 10. Okay, great. So let's see Minitool right there. We'll just open up Minitool, and then we'll come. So
Mike, put your cursor back in the search bar and see if that matches up with the auto suggest. Like a lot of that's pretty much the same, right? That you're seeing right there that under the suggest.
No, it's not. Some of it is the same. But it's more detailed, right? So we're talking about the ad symbol. We're talking about the different problems that people have, the different software and the different hardware, right? They're actually getting, like if we go to look at where's okay, so we've got in here, we've got some of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the query we were just looking at, we've got some of them. We don't have everything that's coming through here, right? Surface Pro, Razor, images, like they'll start to get into the types of search after time. But what they're looking at is really, the next logical step here for this is Windows 10. Okay, do they have Mac? Let's see. They have Mac down there. Okay, but we didn't see that in the actual thing. But now let's see if we can do a search for a piece of hardware and see if the site will deliver for it. So the Mac is there, and we're mini tool. If I add in Lenovo, do we have mini tool? All right, so we've got mini tool down here, right? And they don't have it in there at all. Let's see if we add in like, the wrong query. I've changed it, that's why. Okay, so if we add in, they're actually jumping past the hardware point, which I find very very interesting. What's this? See if it's actually a query or the actual. That's very interesting to me. I'm just saying that because of that right there. I really like what they did there. But so what I'm starting to see in the queries where I see things being affected, whether they're delivering the SERP result or not, is that a lot of the scoring of like where the user is going next in the grouping, it seems to be having a little bit more effect. And like people call that the cluster or whatever, but you know, it's the page grouping to me. And again, it's always also the keyword grouping itself. And so what I think we're going to see is that a lot of these people that are going to come through here and actually use a lot of this right here. Let's see. A lot of those terms there. Let's see. Go see right here. Wired keyboard, wireless keyboard, Mac, visual key. I'm interested in how they're doing for CCM. This right here. I'm very interested to see what they're ranking for, actually. Let's see if I can get in there. Will that work? No. Yes. All right. If we look at, I want the actual, how can I get this? Do you know how to filter this so it has the grouping of keyword on this screen right here? No.
I don't use Ahrefs.
Yeah, I don't use it a lot, but let's see. That's all one. Okay, that's because I'm on a single URL. Okay, here we go. Computing hardware. And type E within Q. What to do when your keyboard won't type. Okay, what is the internal links on that? Organic overview. And then internal backlinks. How to write the @ symbol on a laptop. Enable and disable HP touchpad. Keyboard won't type any letter twice. That's interesting. Laptop. So there's the HP laptop. There's the Aspire there. There's the Grammarly keyboard. So for me, like that kind of site with that kind of grouping, like that makes sense why it would be jumping up to the top here, especially when we're seeing that their internal structure is matching all of this, right? Versus somebody that's not matching all of that. I would expect that their page is going to be pulling a lot more than a lot of these competitors, and not to mention this site overall, right?
Mike, we have a question, Mike. So CMG Web says, speaking of clusters, what does a physical cluster look like? So I guess that would be in contradiction, or just in comparison to a virtual cluster. So
the way I see it is like we can look at like it's a hub and spoke model almost versus
website silo, like breadcrumbs versus
So let's see here. So we have, this is what I would just call a category or silo, like a market grouping. Let's see, page cluster, SEO. Do they have on my body? Yeah, so hub and spoke would be a little bit more interesting on what I would see for that. So we've got the silo here, and then inside of the silo we might have the primaries and supports. It's kind of like that HubSpot model. And so if I'm inside of, like, let's say, well, let's just look at what we're looking at, right? If we go back to that page that we were looking at first, and that page has about 100% more ranking and traffic than the other one I was talking about, dude. Let's go here and then back to here. So if we look at where this is, so we've got computing hardware right here. Okay?
Can you blow that up a little bit, Mike?
Yeah. So we've got computing hardware as the silo right here. And then inside of the cluster, see how this cluster and what Google is showing in the SERPs crosses the silo, right? Because intent-wise, Google's determined that for that keyword, that we need to be talking about hardware and software, okay? And so what you get is top ranking sites breaking a silo structure. Like everyone tells you, don't link outside of your silo, yada, yada, yada. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. So you can think of it kind of like a virtual, it's like to say it's a virtual navigation, but it does not need to follow topical siloing rules. Like your clustering of your pages should be grouped by user intent. They're intent groupings versus topical groupings, if that makes sense. So for this, if we even look here, this is their forum right here. And that, you know, yeah, you can't control where a forum goes, but it's talking about won't type any letter twice, right? And if they're diagnosing a problem for not typing, that makes a lot of sense to me. What to do when your keyboard won't type. And I wonder if this actually has any traffic or if it's just completely supporting. Come on. I hate that you have to log in every time with this shit. It does a lot of it. See. Hardware. No, that's the same one. I don't know how I got that. Never mind. So, computing hardware.
It's that forum one.
That's the one. Okay. Nope, it's redirecting, dude. That's what it is. So yeah, they cleaned it up. Yeah, that's what it is. So I thought that. Well, maybe. Yeah, no, it is. No, is that? What's this one? Computing hardware. No, that it just wasn't loading properly. My bad. Let's see. Not it. Why can't I pull that URL? Because it is supposed to be redirecting. They're having a problem. All right, there we go. Watch. So if I organic keyword, so it did take it. There we go. So yeah, it's not fooling anything. It's just part of that support structure of what's going on with that cluster or that page cluster, right? And so again, we're going back into the fact that it's navigational for the user based on them trying to solve a problem, really. And that's usually how I will classify like a page group or whatnot versus a silo. I hope that answers the question. Let me see. It's like those related complaints, most popular searches. Yeah, and this is a good way to say it. So I just call it intent, right? It's basically most popular searches related to an issue to me indicates the intent of that user, right? And so all of that continues to roll out into more and more shit. And I just think that this is just them putting more math into it and maybe more emphasis on something right now. Let's see. All right, where's that for? Let me close this shit out. There we go. If there aren't more questions, if we have had drop off a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits here pretty quick. All right, we got Mr. Asshat is back, and I'm not even going to ban him. Yeah, there we go. I did. It's fine. He likes to come do that shit to Craig and us. It's fun.
Good for him.
He is good. He's good at it.
Maybe,
What
have you checked out the website?
today, Corey? Go ahead.
Say
What markets are you working in today, dude?
Today I'm working in I'm working in mostly like in tech and
right
yeah, like storage for video teams.
Cloud is always my favorite.
Yeah, cloud, hybrid, on-premise.
Let's see. Can you rank without backlinks? Let's say I launched a blog and wrote 1 article per day. Not possible. I like that answer because you know how I feel about it. According to SEMrush, they're under 50 KD. All right, let's see. That's silly. Keyword difficulty shouldn't be a factor in what you do.
Right.
It's a bad decision. Both link insertions are cheaper. Link insertions can be inserted in articles, but they aren't natural. Contextual backlinks. They say, think about it. You already have a page that's been around for quite some time. This has probably been indexed already. The links are basically just change the page to include the link. This is also easier to analyze when it comes to potential SEO benefits. Why you just do a SEMrush analysis of that specific URL. You can do that with a guest. You can't do that. Well, you can do that with guest post because guest post is new. It has to be indexed. It has to have some of that sort of appeal, so it ranks up. There are a lot of different variables when it comes to guest posts, but you're basically just rolling the dice. I agree with that answer a ton, to be honest. One of the issues I have is that they do reward maturity when it comes to your link profile. And even from an insert standpoint, a lot of people are buying inserts that are disappearing in like a few months, which means that those are not super beneficial inserts and are costing you a lot more money than you think. And so I personally would be very careful with buying inserts, but I do think they are more powerful. Let's see. I saw the finished basic silo. Love a chat. Yeah, love chat needs a date, dude, for sure. The basic silo videos are actually pretty good. Like, really though, you can think of them like, to me, a silo is just a category, man. And it's a great way to flow like PageRank is what it comes down to. You get a lot of topical PageRank like floating into your main primary pages. So like we looked at the cluster, like let's pull up that again, right? So we've got the topical page cluster right here. These primaries.
Can't see it, Mike.
Is that the wrong one? Yeah, let me pull it up on the other one. Thank you. So we've got the topical page cluster right here. Potentially, like all these blue ones could be through different silos, different parts of your website. But these green ones, those could be like all in a single category. So this could all be like say your FAQ section, if you have a bunch of like large guides or something on, for going deeper into the structure, it could be something, let's just go to a navigation. So the green pages there could be everything inside of travel, right? And then if I go deeper, it could be everything inside of resorts and spas. So we've got these primary green pages. They're all different like articles inside of here, like the top 12 golf resort destinations. And then those destinations potentially are like from this, let's say, vacations and hotels. And like if I do it, like let's say we're trying to promote Grand Cayman, I want to link to this. Where's the main one? I want to link to this right here, the golf stuff, right? I want to do this linking. And we're looking in here and we go, okay, Ponte Verde, Florida, right? Okay. I can come into Just Lux and do a site search. Top hotels in Florida. Without quotes, obviously. And then I can find like this one here, that's travel section, this best Florida hotel pools to stay on your next resort. And I can push in a link to this top 12 golf resorts there from Florida if I need to flow a little bit of Florida juice, some anchor text there, right? I can also come in here, there's Mexico, right? Now, if I'm gonna go through different locations, I might also add the modifier of something like top hotels with golf courses. And then I come through and I find, you know, a supporter there. Let's see, destinations is, whatever, we'll take that. And then we can look at, and look at what we can link to for our cluster. And it's outside of that physical structure of that silo category.
But then you're gonna make it a part of that.
It'll link internally and contextually, but it's not going to necessarily come into there. Like basically, if I come into resorts and spas, what I'm looking for is anything in the navigation is part of my silo, right? If I have a sidebar on my page,
right. That's part of your physical silo.
That's my physical silo, and that's flowing page rank right there. So if I have this on, now this is almost recent, but let's say this is static right here. If I have these on every single page inside of the spa section, then that's where my page rank is gonna like solidify, right? So for my modular navigation, my silo navigation, I want it to be topical, and I want the most important pillars to be in that navigation, and then I can support them through any silo, basically. Down history. So here we go. Been slacking. It's basically a main hub or pillar article, then a bunch of blog posts to build out your cluster. Yeah, you could absolutely do it that way. Like you could use your pages and put your pages inside of your sidebar in WordPress. Let me see. Let's go to. I spelled it wrong, but I'm sure it'll go. So his actual section.
Other screen, Mike.
Right here.
Other one, dude.
What? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. So what is SEO? Let's see. All right. Matt. No. All right. So we've got what is SEO, your complete step-by-step here. And then if we jump in, let's just jump into the main SEO guide. That's where we were. Okay, cool. So where are we linking here? Market share, off page. So there we go into the blog right there. Yeah. So there's everything you need to know about off-page SEO. That is part of this like guide here. But then again, we still have where he wants to flow all of his page rank, right? So this doesn't change because the site's topical, right? So you can link everything there, or you know, it could be top navigation. But like right here, anything that you're throwing into these here, you need to make sure it's a part of that like topical cluster that your whole site is about, and that you want to flow the page rank there. And that's kind of where you have to do it. So you set up a navigation, a menu in WordPress with all of your pages, and then in your blog posts, you link to those pages based upon being about SEO or being about digital marketing. And that becomes that cluster that we're looking at. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's kind of like, let's push PageRank. One of the biggest, I got a really good buddy, and one of the first things he always looks at when someone's like, man, I just can't rank for this type of keyword or this market. And it's inevitable. Like, you go look at that and you look at the queries, and everyone else has it in their main navigation, but the one that can't rank, it doesn't have it in their main navigation. So it's an indicator that, okay, you're not emphasizing it, but you also don't have PageRank you need on it. And so, like, one of the biggest things you can do for like a group of keywords is to get the top level into main navigation so that you instantly kick up the PageRank. Right on. Oh man, when you already started high school with your daughter, huh?
Yeah, she started last week.
Dude, Addie starts on Tuesday.
Jeez.
It's crazy, bro.
It is. Yeah, man.
I just can't even believe it, to be honest, man. It's like, it's a trip, dude.
That's wild.
Any other questions in there or nah?
Good. No, I don't see any more questions. Beginning to see how this works. Let me scroll to the bottom. I don't think we missed anything. Yeah, we're good.
I don't know. I mean, I see. I'm really interested to see Fallout and see what's going to happen here.
Yeah. The next couple of weeks will be interesting. We'll keep an eye on the winners and
losers. A lot of people bragging about having like 200% traffic, this and that. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of change in anything that I'm really looking at.
Not yet. I mean, they're just barely rolling it out. So
I wonder if they've even started anywhere other than where they've kind of been, because I've seen them pull it in and out of certain queries. So I think they're dicking around right now. But
yeah,
it'll be interesting, man. It really will.
Right. Yeah, it will. It'll be good. I mean, yeah, I think even right today, if you look at your winners and losers, that'll give you probably a good idea.
I wonder what Wicked Fire, if they're talking at all. Oh, where's SEO? Reddit upvoter group. No. And there's not a lot of chatter on Webmaster World either right now, dude.
Yeah.
Sell by trade. All right, I think we'll call it good, because now I can. Okay, here we go. Since I'm trying to shortcut setup, save time for real editing, going to go over the build videos in Zygo, throw up some sites with proper structure. Yeah, I would trust, because I think Todd's a part of that, dude, and Herc. That's Herc and Todd, I think.
It is. It definitely is.
Yeah, Herc. Where's their fucking site, dude?
That particular one is.
I'm actually not in a real search engine, so. I don't know if I'm spelling it right or not.
You got XA.
Zygo Magic.
Yeah.
See. That'll get me there, I'm sure. Where's the link? There we go. Mike Replay Rad. That's my name. Magic Page plugin and Zygo work together. MPP, it works pretty decent. Zygo, do you know much about Zygo, dude?
I messed around with it for a little bit, mostly for like the.
What about it made you do it?
The markup. So yeah, I was trying to get like review snippets to show up in SERPs.
And did you stick with it or no?
No, I didn't stick with it. I mean, I pretty much like I can do it just kind of the long way using
It's kind of like I see it. So kind of like a network management feature tool, something like that.
It's there's a couple different things in there that I didn't really mess with. I just I was more interested in.
So you were using the JSON, like the schema generator is what you were talking about.
Yep.
Right on. Yeah, man. I think it looks solid. If you've got it, use this. Especially if it's building a solid structure for you. The other thing is, that's who I was supposed to freaking call was Matt, dude. I knew I was supposed to freaking call Matt, and Matt actually he took the last 8 months to reprogram and redesign all of the Network Empire stuff, like the tool set and everything, and threw some AI in there. It's AI copywriting for conversion and stuff. It looked actually kind of sick. I need to give him a call. I feel like a dick because I was supposed to jump in.
Call him up, dude.
I'm going to. He's a good dude. I think they still got the freaking silo builder in there too. I don't know. It's just Matt now. Yeah, there they go. I wonder. This is like old school. Remember, this is the one. This is it. I think. Let's see.
Whatever we fill in over here, save it.
Sounds like it's a different language, bro.
Or
so this actually I made a lot of money with their tool back in the day. Just because of the way it structures stuff and the research you can do. Like it's a sick tool. And if he's redesigned it for what's going on now, I'm actually going to give this a serious look, dude.
Yeah, right.
If he's done what I think he did, I think he did right by it. And it's like nostalgia for me, dude, for sure.
Yeah. Probably for most of the people who've been in it for a while.
I mean, the templates that I pulled out of it and modified, I still use to sell content.
Do you really?
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Yeah. So I definitely want to give him a call, and I need to apologize for not calling him on Monday because I was supposed to, dude. Totally forgot. On that note, I should probably go get some actual other work done. Mr. Porn Boy is back, dude. Gosh, Porn Boy. I'm going to put him in a timeout next time. Extra helpful crap should be easier. I'm the one who can't keep his mouth shut, bro, not you. So don't worry.
Right.
Or did your video ever come up, or is it up and I just can't see you? Can you guys see Corey's face?
Yeah, they can't see you, Mike.
I know. I just can't see you, dude.
Yeah, no.
I got nervous, bro.
Apparently you did.
So we got to drive. I got to get up tomorrow at 5 a.m. and drive to Idaho Falls. The kids have like dentist appointments, then orthodontist appointments, and drive back that night and get ready for freaking high school.
What about you? Are you going to get some teeth pulled or some new ones put in?
Bro, I lost all my real ones when I was tweaking. I just did. Yeah, no, I haven't been to the dentist in freaking A, dude, like 12 years, bro.
Jeez.
Yeah, probably should go, man.
I mean, think about it.
Think about it. Fuck you, dude. I just never carry insurance for it, dude, so I don't like paying for my own visit.
I know. I don't either. I just go and whatever I need.
Want your teeth, bro?
What?
Just want your teeth, dude. I deliver a freaking commission tomorrow, dude. Check this out. Before I go, I'm gonna start this cam, dude.
Oh, there, I can see you now. There
this is for a dude. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
painted that to Homeboy. Sold that to Homeboy.
No way.
D&D campaign, dude.
That's dope.
It's funny. So I get to call myself a professional painter now.
Good, dude.
All right.
Yeah, we already knew that. You've been painting pictures and stuff like with those little watercolors. I've seen some of your work.
Dude, they're fun, man. I love painting. It's been good. It's good for my sobriety, man.
Paint by numbers stuff.
Yeah, exactly. My sketchbook.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for coming on today, dude. And we'll see you guys next week. And if you guys have issues with this update, you know how to get a hold of us on Skype. So,
all right.
take care, everybody. Hold up.